I mean, people, like you said, they wait months, years to get into your restaurant. So it's very, very high pressure. And like you said, you only serve 75 people a day. And literally everybody who walks into your restaurant has these enormously high expectations of you and your team. Like everything's got to be perfect. Everything needs to be amazing. How do you deal with that kind of pressure? Because, you know, inside of the business world, for example, you do have, you know, leaders have high expectations of their team, but it's not as high as in your restaurant, where every day you need to be a high performer. You can't have a bad day or an off day. Like every single day you have to be on. How do you do that?
Ooh, it's very, very, very hard. And, you know, the burnout rate in the restaurant industry is high because of this pressure every night. And it is not just in fine dining. I mean, go to a busy brunch restaurant and look at the cook, how he's dabbling with 1,000 orders over 2 hours. I mean, sometimes you forget your own name, believe it or not, you know, because there's just so much pressure on your mind at that point, these points. But very early on, I taught myself, and it doesn't always work, but it works for the most time, that the best thing you can do to yourself is come to work with the mindset of being as concentrated as possible. And if you are able to have the discipline and be there for that, like that, at the end of the day, if there really is something wrong or somebody doesn't like it, which of course happens again and again, you have that as your protection. You know that you were there and gave it what you did. But besides that, you know, it's hard. I mean, you try to speak to people. I think that's another very important thing, particularly leaders. They need more brain space to think and have time to think, so that they're not just sort of all the time absorbed in problem solving or making decisions. They also need time to properly think. So I do that. I actually take my time. I hike quite a bit, sometimes for week-long hikes.
Wow.
Where my phone is only sporadically open. And that's where I can deep think and get through big strategies, big issues. I also am a firm believer in having a mentor for anyone. Someone you look up to that you can always call. And I've also...
So you have one. You have a mentor right now.
Yeah, I do. It's a very successful person. And I call him up once in a while. And his advice to me was, René, you have to learn and be happy with being second best. That's your longevity plan.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so it's a very good advice, actually. But sometimes when you also talk to these people that are smarter than you also, once in a while, and I've done that a few times in my life, you have to free fall into their advice against your better judgment. And this is something that personally people call me all the time, and I give them advice, but people rarely follow them. You know, they already made their mind. This is what most people do, I think. But once in a while, I actually follow the advice against my better judgment from someone smarter than me or more experienced that know exactly what I'm going through. And it's been very, very helpful. Very helpful.